Hey Knights! So this is the next section of chapters for the Swan twins. We're actually almost done, so I'm pretty excited about that. So, Chapter 20, Double Date, Part 1. Lily's point of view. Today, me and Bella are having a double date with Jasper and Edward. We are all going to play baseball with their family, and I am excited. I just hope I don't actually have to play because I suck at baseball and any other sports besides volleyball. I'm probably the worst baseball player in the world, apart from Bella. Now all we have to do is tell Charlie. Hey, Dad, Bella and me are going to go out with Jasper and his brother, Edward, today. I spoke to him while placing my hands on the table he was cleaning his shotgun on. Okay, but isn't Edward a little old for you? He asked, but directed the question to Bella, who was standing next to him. Standing right next to me. No, he's a junior. I'm a junior, she said. And she wasn't technically lying. Even though Edward is over 100 years old, he is a junior. I thought you liked the Cullen. Well, Bella, I thought you didn't like any boys in town. Dad shot at her. When did she say she didn't like anyone? Where was I during this? Because I would have wanted to embarrass her by saying something about her liking Edward. They don't live in town, technically. They're right outside, Bella said. They are? Dad asked, looking at the door really quick before looking back at us. Yeah, Edward wanted to meet you officially, Bella said honestly. And Jasper wanted to say hello, I said, and walked out of the kitchen towards the door. But before I did, I shouted over to my shoulder back to Dad. Be nice! And I went and opened the door. Chapter 22, Double Date, Part 2. Lily's point of view. Since when do vampires play baseball? I asked while getting out of the Jeep and having Jasper come to the side where I was standing. Then he pulled out a cap from the Jeep's open window and put it on my head. Well, it's the American pastime, he said, and pulled my bangs to the side of the cap so they won't be in my eyes. And a thunderstorm is coming, and it's the only time we can play. You'll see why. I nodded my head, and Jasper grabbed my hand and started to lead me to the field, where all the Cullens were getting ready for their big baseball game. I'm glad you both are here. We need an umpire, Esme said, wrapping her arms over mine and Bella's shoulders. Then she started leading us over to the home plate. She thinks we cheat, Emmett said, tossing a baseball between both of his hands with a smirk on his face. Oh, I know you cheat, Esme shot back. Then everybody got into their correct positions. Edward, Blake, and Emmett are on the fields, while Alice is pitching and Rose is batting first. It's time, Alice called out, once a patch of thunder came not far away from where we are. Then she throws the ball, but I could only see a small blur before Rose swung. Once the bat hit the ball, it became a loud bang noise, just like the thunder. Okay, now I see why you need the thunder, Bella said in slight awe with me nodding my head. While Rose was running across the bases, Edward ran into the woods for the ball. Then I asked, that's got to be a home run, right? Edward's really fast, Esme said, and as she finished speaking, a small blur came flying from the tree line, and then Esme caught it easily, and I saw it was the baseball. When Rose was about to finish a close home run, Esme got her out by touching Rose with the ball when she tried to slide into home plate. You're out, Bella said, and when Rose was getting up, she sent a glare towards Bella. Then Carlisle was up, and again Alice pitched the ball. When she swung and hit it, it was high up close to the trees, but then Emmett climbed the tree and caught it with such ease. My monkey man, Rose said, and it caused me to have a smile to come to my face. Finally, Jasper was up, and before Alice threw the ball, he was doing multiple flips with the bat, causing me to whisper, show off. Clearly, he heard me, because he looked over to me and sent me a smirk and a quick wink. Then he looked back to Alice, and again she threw the ball. Once Jasper hit it, he ran to first base, but when he was about to run to the second, Alice stopped him. Stop! That's when everyone seemed to stop in their tracks, and they all ran back to home plate. And once Rose got to home, she took her hat off and switched with mine. I didn't know what was going on, but I decided not to question it. Let's go, Jasper said, and was about to lead me away from everyone else, but Carlisle stopped him. It's too late. Put your hair down, he said to me, and I instantly did what he said. I shouldn't have brought you here. I'm so sorry. What's going on? I started to ask, but he cut me off. Just be quiet and stand behind me. He seemed really urgent and panicky, so I didn't question him. Instead, I did exactly what he said. I stayed quiet and I stood slightly behind him. Then we all looked across the field to see 3 people walking out from the tree line. Chapter 22. Meeting 3 new vampires. Lily's point of view. Once the 3 red-eyed vampires were in front of all of us, the one in the middle held up our baseball. I believe this belongs to you, he spoke, and like almost every other vampire, his voice sounded like bells. Then he threw the ball, but it only seemed like a small blur with my naked eyes, and Carlyle caught it easily. Thank you. I am Laurent. This is Victoria, the black vampire said, and motioned with his head to the strawberry blonde. And James. Then he glanced at the blonde-headed vampire, who, I could tell, kept staring at me. I'm Carlyle, and this is my family, Carlyle spoke while motioning with his head to the rest of us. When I still felt James' piercing red eyes staring at me, I moved even closer to Jasper, to where he could probably feel my heartbeat on his chest. That's when he tightened his arms around my waist. Hello, again Laurent spoke. I'm afraid your hunting activities have caused a mess for us, Carlyle said casually. We're sorry. We hadn't realized this territory had been claimed, Laurent spoke in an unknown accent that I didn't know of. Yes, well, Carlyle said, and it sounded like he didn't believe a word Laurent was saying. We keep a permanent residence nearby. Well, we won't be a problem anymore. We were just passing through, Laurent said, analyzing every one of us, but then I noticed he stopped his gaze on Bella, who was wrapped around Edward as much as I was with Jasper. The humans were tracking us, so he led them east. You should be safe. This time it was the strawberry blonde named Victoria that spoke up, and the way she said you should be safe in a whisper, it frightened me even more. Excellent. So, Laurent said, with a smile that sent chills down my spine, and not the good kind. Could you use 3 more players? Carlyle was debating to see if it was a good idea, but Laurent asked again. Come on, just 1 game? Sure, he said reluctantly. A couple of us were leaving. You can take their place. We bat first. Carlyle threw the ball, but Victoria caught it. I'm the one with the wicked curveball. You think we can handle that? I think we can handle that, Blake said with a smirk, and then everyone started to go to their correct places on the field. When Jasper started to lead me away, I felt a breeze blow through my hair. Oh, shit. I quickly looked over and saw James sniff the air and turn back to us. You brought a snack. When he was about to attack, I was pushed behind Jasper and the rest of the Cullens, and then Bella was by my side, looking about as frightened as I am. The girl is with us. I think it's best if you leave, Carlyle spoke in a menacing voice I've never heard come from him. And I noticed he only said girl, as in singular. I can see the game is over. We'll go now, Laurent said, and started to back up. But when he saw James wasn't moving from his crouched position, James? Finally, he stood up, but didn't move his eyes away from mine until all 3 of them backed away. Then all 3 vampires started to walk away and off the field. Chapter 23. Be safe. Lily's point of view. Promise me that you won't believe a word I'm about to say, I said to Jasper once me, Edward, Bella, and him got to mine and Bella's front porch. We have a plan to get Dad to let us go, but I'm afraid because I know I'm going to hurt him, and that's something I didn't ever want to do. I promise, Jasper whispered, and pushed a gentle and longing kiss on my lips. When he pulled away, he spoke. I'll be in your room. Jasper, I said, leave me alone, I shouted and opened the door. Lily, don't do this. Even if we were faking it, it still seemed real for some reason, and it hurt like a bitch. Physically. It physically hurt my heart. We're over. Go away, I shouted, and slammed the door in his and Edward's faces. Bella and Edward were yelling at each other, also, but I didn't pay any attention to them. All I could think about was the look of pain on Jasper's face, even though we both knew we were faking all of this for Dad's safety. Lily? Bella? Dad asked worriedly, running after us and up the stairs. What's going on? We just have to get out of here, I spoke sadly. We're leaving now, Bella said, and we both went into our room to pack a bag. Jasper was already in my room, shoving clothes into my black and red duffel bag. Lily? Bella? Dad questioned, knocking on both of our doors since they were right next to each other. What can I say to him? I asked at the verge of tears. I don't want to hurt him. I'm sorry, Lily. You just have to. You know that, Jasper told me and placed a kiss on my forehead. Me and Edward will be in the truck. I nodded my head and he disappeared the next second. I grabbed my makeup bag and walked out of my room and over to my cabinet in the hallway. Did they hurt you? Dad asked us. Me and Bella were shoving our things into little bags. No, we said at the same time. Did they break up with both of you or something? He asked, slightly confused. No, we broke up with them, I told him, and went back into my room. I shoved my makeup bag into my duffel bag and slung the strap over my shoulder and walked out of my room. I thought you guys liked him, Dad said, even more confused. I didn't just like Jasper. I loved him, I thought to myself. Dad, that's why we have to leave. We don't want this. We have to go home, Bella explained. Home? Your mom isn't even in Phoenix, Dad said. We can drive, Bella said, and we walked down the steps and over the front door. It'll give us time to think, and if I get tired, Lily can drive, or we'll pull into a motel, I promise. Come on, Bella, I just got you and Lily back, Dad said, and he sounded heartbroken. It made me want to cry even more than I already was, and I could feel tears falling down my cheeks, and some tears blurred my vision so I couldn't see properly. We have to go, I muttered, and opened the door and pulled Bella after me. We walked down the steps, and once we reached the truck, we threw our stuff in the truck and got inside. Bella was driving while I was in the passenger seat. We were driving down the road when suddenly two loud bangs came from both sides of the truck. I looked to my side to see Jasper. I opened the door so he could get in. I looked over and saw Edward on Bella's side. Your father's going to forgive you, Edward said. Why don't you let me drive? When Bella went to scoot over, I saw there wasn't any room, so I moved over so I sat in Jasper's lap. I placed my head on his shoulder while he wrapped his arms around my waist. He drew little circles with his thumb, and it helped calm me down slightly. I could hear Bella and Edward speaking, but I didn't care at the moment. Then another loud bang came from the back of the truck. From not expecting it, I nearly jumped out of my skin. I quickly turned around and saw it was only Emmett. I quickly let out a sigh of relief and turned back around and got back in my original position on Jasper's lap. Once we reached the Collins house, we all ran into their garage. James won't be easy to kill, Jasper informed them. But not impossible, Emmett quickly said after Jasper. We'll tear him apart and burn the pieces, Jasper said. And during the time everyone was talking, he kept a firm grip around my waist. Rose and Emmett was looking at the car's engine to make sure they were okay to travel in. Carlisle was taking money from a safe in a cabinet against the wall, and Edward was passing out mine and Bella's clothes. Rosalie, Esme, would you put these on so the tractor will pick up Bella and Lily's scent? Edward said, passing Esme my big black coat, and Rose had Bella's brown one. Me and Edward are going to drive. Carlisle cut Jasper off from speaking any further. No, Jasper. James knows you guys will never leave Lily and Bella. He'll follow you, he informed us. I won't be with Jasper? Now I don't think I can handle as much as I thought I would be able to without Jasper with me. I'll go with them. Me and Blake will drive them south, and we'll keep them safe, she promised both Edward and Jasper. Can you keep your thoughts to yourself? Edward asked her. Alice held on to me and Bella and led us over to her black, shiny car. Bella got inside, and Edward talked to her through the window. I wanted to at least give Jasper a hug before I have to leave. Then he came around to my side of the car, and I didn't hesitate to wrap my arms around his neck and hold him tight. He wrapped his arms around my waist tightly, but not that tight. If anything happens to any of you, I swear to God, I mumbled into his neck. I could start to feel the tears in my eyes again from being so scared that something might happen to any of them. Nothing's going to happen. There's 8 of us and 3 of them. Alice and Blake will keep you safe. Lily, you're my entire life now, and I love you more than anything, he mumbled to me and started to reluctantly pull away. When he did, I placed my lips on his. It was a sweet and quick kiss, but it was something to hold on to. I love you too, I whispered, once I pulled away from the kiss. I got out of his arms and inside the car. The window was rolled down, so I said one last thing before Alice zoomed us off into the night. Be safe. Hey, Mom, it's Lily again. You must have let your phone die or something, I spoke into my phone. Me and Bella have been trying to call her but she never answered, so we kept leaving her voicemails. Me and Bella aren't in Forks, but everything was okay, and I promised to explain everything later. I hung up my phone to realize Alice is pulling into a motel so we can stop for a while and rest. Me and Bella are looking out the window of our motel room. It's clear she was thinking about Edward, because I know I'm thinking about Jasper. Is he okay? Are all the Cullens okay? Is he alive? Oh my God, what if he isn't? Just thinking about Jasper being dead made my blood run cold and my heart break. Just thinking about that possibility made me realize how much I really need Jasper in my life. If I didn't, then it feels like a huge piece of me is gone, and I felt lost and scared without that piece of myself. I brought out I was brought out of my thoughts when I heard Alice gasp loudly. It was loud enough to where Bella heard it also. What is it? Blake asked, concerned, and placed a hand on his mate's shoulder. What do you see? The tracker. He just changed course, she said. But she still had that faraway look in her eyes. Me and Bella walked closer to her, where Alice and Blake were sitting on the couch. Where is he going? Blake asked quickly and grabbed a nearby piece of paper and pencil. He put the paper on the coffee table in front of him, and put the pencil in Alice's hand. Immediately, she began sketching an image. Jasper says that visions weren't always certain. I asked Blake, knowing Alice wouldn't answer because she was too into her vision. No, she can only see when they're in it. They change their minds, the vision changes, Blake explained, and it actually made sense. So the lead to the tractor now is leading to... I trailed off when I saw what she drew. I dropped to my knees in front of the coffee table. I turned the picture around and I instantly recognized the place Alice drew. What? Alice asked me. It's my old gymnastics studio, I mumbled. You've been here? Blake asked me. I took lessons as a kid. You drew everything I remember about that place, I told Alice, still looking at the picture. Why would James go there? Okay, I'm gonna end there so that way the next video is the last one for this for this story. Alrighty, peace out, Knights.